Okay, oh dear. Wonderful, wonderful. Family una kaba una do. I bring warm greetings to una. Obviously, I'm still trying to forget the guest, and I apologize, yeah, because the intro breakthrough there. But again, we go into the intro and warm up the floor whilst we wait for the guest. But definitely, we are coming on live. I promise you now, we come on live. And furthermore, just for information, I just come on work. I've got a regular job, although people say something else. Don't really care about what they say. So I just come on job, and we get for keep up with national and international obligation by having a conversation with we and we people and us. So we get a very special guest on the platform tonight. Do not touch that dial, ladies and gentlemen, because Gunter Adikali is going to be on the program. This na the TNN TV Media Empire. Today na the 8th of December 2022. Me na una host and presenter, Prince Emil Koma. Very interesting, very important. Whilst we wait for the guests, do a family on a help for shape, please. Thank you. Right, family, welcome to another TNN TV Media Empire. This is the hub of the conversation, and as we warm up towards 2023, it's important that we begin to understand waiting that we priority them. Again, I repeat, as we warm up towards 2023, we really need to understand what our priorities are. You see, family, can I just say this quickly? That there is an obligation, and in fact, not to the first time they say this, I always they say this. There's an obligation on the part of every one of us that we owe the country, and this is not the distinction, that we owe the country some responsibility. And by virtue of the country, the default there is the people who occupy this country. Some of them are not well placed, and some of them depend on others, for providing information for them, so that when they make a decision, the decision go based on something in which they are informed about. And this now we they try for doing the empire. So when they try for influence decision, but they present all sides of the argument, so that you go able for look at side A and side B, and somewhere in the middle, you go able for cut across and say, this not good for me, or this not the option, and nobody don't get for make that decision there for you. Okay, this now we try for doing the empire. Again, I repeat, today at the 8th of December 2022. This is not the TNN TV Media Empire. Today, we ask the question as soon as go don't see now, and when I remember at some point we get for open the lines, because we want you to read the view of views, opinions, perspective, even questions of every Sierra Leonean. And it's not only down to Sierra Leonean, but the priority are Sierra Leoneans. He who feels it knows it. So the question, does our current president, retired brigadier, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, deserve a second term in office? Bearing in mind the context of this conversation is there is an election looming. In a couple of months' time, in 7 months from now, there will be a general election. And this general election will help for shape we country towards the next 5, 10, and sometimes even 20 years, even though those that will have been elected will not be in power any longer. But the decisions that they take for let it change and take effect, it does take time. And this is so in every other country around the world. So this is the importance that now make elections are important. Now make them can advertise and now make people a need for register for vote. Because why? Your voice matters. Today, waiting we really want for do Fambulem. Now for look at the 4 years, and I really want to let Fambulem listen, please. Now for look at the 4 years of President Madabio in power. So we look from a specific lens, a laser focus, if you will like, on the president in 4 years in office. We look at the promises then way it be made to the Sierra Leonean people. And based on them promises then they will be made to the Sierra Leonean people, we will ask ourselves whether the president able for meet up them promises and the way it be make. We go also make the case say, well, now this night be happy, now that night be happy, now this much you don't do, now that much you don't do. Ask why, when, what, who, where, and how. And at the same time, like how would they say, the lines will be open so people then go answer the question or profile a solution or express their opinion or their perspective as to whether the current president does deserve a second term in office. What would they say? We don't want this decision for be based on emotional value. In other words, your emotions. Because probably you just come and watch one video just now and see a development trend in which the president they do. Let me take the Lunge Airport International, for example. Okay, that's a good one. Don't get me wrong. And can I congratulate the president on this one? Even though, again, because of my critical mind, my resume can allow me, for being critical about such things. In other words, what's the contract about? Who owns the contract? How was he awarded? How much money has been spent? Why they spend so much money on waiting and how and who that involved? The cost for money, the value for money. These are the kind of things that we look at. Now, it makes some people that can get upset because we decide to be critical about issues. But the idea is, it is a project, it's physical, it's tangible, it's in the country, it can be felt, it is being felt, it can be touched, it is being touched, it is real. But again, now that's what they say, Sierra Leoneans, what is your opinion? Waiting now your perspective. Waiting you think. So all on them basis there, does this president, the current president, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, deserves a second term in office? If you say the president deserves a second term in office, you go get for tell we why. If you say the president not deserve a second term in office, we also the demand. We are not asking, we are demanding why. Remember, this is almost like an advocacy. In advocacy, where you think that this is your right, you are stopping short at nothing but demanding. So we guests just don't join, and I'm really happy that we guests don't join, because when I know say from Sierra Leone, we always get difficulty, and we are not pinning this on a government, but just with system. This is why it is important that decisions we make is based on policy. Let's just talk to the guests quickly. Let's make sure say we've established a contact, a channel. You can hear me with the area. And like I say, Gila, just make sure say we get the guests clearly with the area, with the area, with the Siam, and then we can move on into the program. So first of all, Adikali Bonta, you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So a couple of housekeeping rules quickly. This is going to be interesting. And just for remind Fambulem, this is not the traditional interview. I want to let Fambulem understand this. These are views now they put together, and we should have referred to the man where we call the guest as a co-host, because Imba get a view. And in at the editor-in-chief, of course, he will introduce himself shortly, but we just be one make some housekeeping rules, say in a conversation and putting these things together. Adikali, wait till I want to let you do whilst we go on a quick break before we bring you come on finally. On you, I guess now your phone now you they use. Can you go back again to your settings and try for put your phone into a landscape position, please? So that means you will be equal 50-50 on the screen, which could get a more professional look. I don't know what phone you use, but just a quick update if you don't understand them. Now for swipe from left to right, from the top of your phone, straight down, and it will give you the options like settings or camera or whatever. And then you can adjust on the, which is rotational. Yeah. Okay, Fambulem, like I've been say, we get co-host na the program, and please, let we help for share this program. Come on now, elections is coming. The point is, we don't have to be on side. I have said this from the beginning over 5-6 years ago. I look for people who are diametrically opposed to my position, or vis-a-vis whose position I am diametrically opposed to. In this light, in this vein, in this sense, then we can have a conversation and hopefully we find a middle ground way involve with country. But for now, can I ask you to please share once again today na the 8th of December 2022, and we will host a program on the TNN TV Media Empire in which the question or the submission where we make today to we people them is, does President Bill, we talk about the president now in power, deserve a second term in office? And we go look at some prospect them, some development them, some ifs and some buts, critical analysis, and then we expect people for call at some point during the program. Please don't hesitate to call. All calls will be entertained, provided that it's respective of each other's views. Everybody get in view and everybody view for be respected. You don't necessarily get for agree with somebody in view. This is what the argument is, and we are going to be in the center. We go be the referee, now we go be the umpire. Again, like I say, do not touch that dial because it's going to be interesting in the coming minutes and hour. This is not the TNN TV Media Empire. Right, Fambulem, huge welcome to the program. I see Adikali get two option there already. Adikali, you still not able to put your program into landscape, but that's fine. We can left and solo not waste time with the program because we get few guests and we don't sign up. The one we know one for use, let me know. I can remove them or you can remove one of them, but you get two options on the platform already. Okay, thank you very much. So we get one here. You there, me, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want for let you do, your camera, because you did way down. If you did watch me, just watch me. I don't know whether you see me on the screen. Be the way up, so you need to come up a little bit. If you do you did in the portrait mode, it's not a problem. That should be fine. Okay, let me accept them as it is. Let me see this one. Let me see this one. Okay. All right, no worries at all. So Adikali, quickly, first of all, you get a very long name. I don't know a compound name, but very long name. Gunter, Adikali, and the last two names I don't almost forget them. Okay, you've come up again with a different stream. You actually get for choose one. Which one you want to go on with? You can pull yourself on the one we don't want to use. We need to get into the program and get going. Okay. So now this one you want to use. So let me ask you again once again. You hear me, sir? Your microphone mute. Yeah.
Let me mute them. Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So you get two other offers them na the back room. I don't know whether you want to use any one of them or this one where you talk to. So if you see yourself on the screen now you want for use, then let me know.
I'll just stay with this one.
You stay with that one. Okay. Can I just ask you for bring yourself up a little bit, yeah? Because you weigh down the thing in your neck. So yeah, okay. A little bit more up, little bit more up. The same way you do it just now, but a little bit more up.
All right.
No, radically, you don't go behind and you did too much on your right hand side. Shift on your left hand side a little bit so you did at the middle. Radically, do you hear me? Hello. Family, they wanna bear with we are because then video they do go international. And the Denena Media platform is an international platform. We get few listeners them all over the globe. Not very many, but we're proud of our achievement and we record. So we can just want to make sure we get things a little bit right. Okay, Adikali, you there right now in the middle. That's fine. Let's see what is there now. So quickly, Adikali, will you introduce yourself, please? Let Fambule understand who are you, what you belong to, your profession, and etc. Adikali, do you hear me? Your audio you mute. Unmute yourself. You need for unmute. Let me see whether I can help you. Okay, now we don't lose them again. Adikali, okay. You don't get this link to a few people. Letitia Tucker. Kick from studio, kick guest out. Adikali, do you hear me? Come on now. Commando Joseph. So you don't share this thing with few people we're not supposed to be on the program. This is not the live program. Okay. Let's see who is this Fico Roma. So you don't share around with few people and you're not supposed to be on the program. Yeah, Fico, you're not supposed to be on the program, so I'm just gonna remove you. Kick guest out, add stream. This is not Maurice Fode. Maurice Fode, sorry, you're not supposed to be on the program. You can watch them in the background, so I'm just going to remove you. And Adikali, I believe this is the one. Gunter, you hear me?
Yes, I really don't know why I appear at 2. I don't know if you get the part.
No, okay, I go tell you quickly, brother. We need to move on with the program. The problem here is when I give you the access code, what you do, you share them with few friends or colleagues them. So therefore, now then they appear so like Luda, Jalo, and I know say it's a bit the name. Few people they are off now and you are on. So introduce yourself quickly to Fambul. Yeah, that's fine. Introduce yourself to Fambul and quickly.
Thank you very much, Prince Kuma. I'm very pleased for doing this wonderful platform today. I don't follow you all this while, and I think you're doing well. Of course, Mina Gunta Adikali by Darami, not to any compound name. Adikali by, of course, they go with the chief, of course. Nami, na the editor of the All People's Congress we own newspaper, and I'm very pleased for contribute by this particular topic because very, very crucial, more so ahead of the new year where Sierra Leone and them get for going to the polls for decide whether the current president for continue or we for withdraw with social contract format.
Okay, that was a brief introduction there from Adikali Darami. Gunter Darami. Gunter, by the way, it sounds German.
It's a German name. I was named after a German, Gunter Teichert. Of course, Philip Osman, one of the companies that we make the first Freetown Guinea Highway. And my dad be the work now like Philip Osman. Then he get for me this man. By then, before I was born, in fact, he say, okay, now if na woman, na me wife name. If na man, na me own name. So now I make her become Gunter. Just like where you get some people that own a Jones Desmond, we get some British name. Me na me own European name na Gunter from a German. Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification, because even myself, it puzzled me. It's strange, but not strange. And I remember Gunther is a German because it does sound German, and I look him up, it's German. But sometimes they back again, where we can spell with name like with native names, we can style them and then it can mean. But thank you for that clarification. And Gunther, quickly, by your introduction, you say you're not the editor-in-chief for the YONE newspaper, YONE Press, law column, because it's general.
YONE Press, yes.
Yes,
Press,
yeah. So it's not only the paper, which is quite important. And can you tell me quickly, briefly, waiting now with YONE Press, waiting una they do, waiting now una mission statement, aims and objective, because it's clear this program now for critique the president, the incumbent president in 4 years in office, and as you now almost like a co-host, family need for understand exactly your background, where you come up from. So no sonko yuki.
Yeah, of course, it's very, very important. First and foremost, YONE Press first published in 1960, of course. Now the official mouthpiece of the APC, All People's Congress, but now like a print.
All right. Famulem, apologies. There we go. The usual stuff, especially when we talk to Famulem from Sierra Leone. Gunter, you're back with us briefly. So you're back. Okay, continue, please.
Yes, like the YONE Press basically now a news media outlet. We register under the Independent Media Commission. We basically what we only do, we get to do how you propagate and propagate the ideologies and policies of the APC. However,
okay, there we go again. We don't lost Gunter.
We won't be in the
ethical
consideration in terms of public.
All right, Fambulem, it seems like this is what Gunter, 1 minute, one minute, because maybe we will get for remove you of video, and I sure say the audio might work just very well. So Fambulem, just a quick one.
Yeah. Yes, Jolo Gutiabidisi.
All right. Okay. Fambulem, wanna hang on there with me.
Yeah. Me as an individual.
Okay. Gunter, if you hear me, I want to let you be quiet a bit, because this has happened multiple times and it disturbs the flow of the program. So anyway, Fambulem, waiting we get for doing this at this particular point in time. Now for ask the brother for see whether it will come off video, and then we just get audio. That can help for save the data and how the internet, the buffer. When you use video and audio together, especially when you do within, hang on, brother, especially when you use a poor internet service, it does have effect on the production of the program as soon as I don't begin to see. So, Gunther, waiting we go get for do, with all due respect, I go ask you for cut down your video. Just click on your video, and that will cut you out, and we just use your audio, which I believe say go help, because we don't close down the video. Thank you so much. You want to speak now? Oh, say the boy that know he move himself all together. Oh dear. Family, on bear with we. Anytime we talk to Freetown, we do, you're getting kind of problem there. Gunter, if you hear me, click on your video, pull your video out, because they don't begin to interfere upon the program. Because now that's us exactly. So can you speak now? Talk now.
Okay, now. So like I would say, from my background, I'm a regular media commentators on issues of governance, na salon, and as a media person, and I'm fortunate for also don't study with global governance, and I believe say like a political commentator na salon na something I don't do over the time, and topic like this very very interesting, and I believe say we really need to do justice to am because it's very critical to the survival of a country, and that are one of the critical role where the media they play, most especially the new media. When at the order of the day where everybody now they look forward to, because just with a click of a phone, everybody's there following us, and so I'm very pleased for the part of the media empire, and thank you very much for having me.
Okay, I don't know whether you dey hear me. And if you dey hear me for 477 40107250. Okay. Okay. Let me just come back here, man, quickly. Fambulem again, we've been encounter some problem there, but I think part of it is resolved with the brother don't go off video. So now audio. So that's much more of an improvement. And the question here today is, does President Marabio deserve a second term? If you answer now yes, we they ask you for please tell Fambulem why you decide for say the president deserve a second term. And if the answer now no, we also they ask you for let you explain to Fambulem as to why you decide say the president not deserve a second term. But they come up with that. But the person who we get today on the platform now a young man, we largely successful as I look at him profile, an editor-in-chief of a massive newspaper, a news media called the YONE Press. The YONE Press is a conglomerate, I believe, of different aspects of media, whether a newspaper, broadcasting, TV, you name it, media. I believe that's what the situation is. So, Gunter, we got for open this platform at some point where we will expect people there for call and then answer question. But let we begin straight away to the point. I think so you don't make the introduction. The economy of we country, now I want to start from, has been from crisis to crisis. The economy as we see it today, by many measure of economists and the rest of the world indices, the organizations the way material way account to economy, we can draw line, graph, or indices for measure the operation of the economy, as successful or not successful, or the performance. They've come up with many negatives when it comes to YONE economy. The performance of the economy, because it's not good, it don't lead to the worst economic situation by some measure from some people them that the country find itself today. The only place where you can measure, and one me paddy tell me, is going back to the 1980s when the economy was really at its lowest. But it also say the situation right now, it indicates say this is not the worst time we ever did in terms of our economy. I wonder what your thoughts are, sir.
Well, first and foremost, when you talk about the economic realities of Sierra Leone, like for me, I not even make reference to the 80s when I'm from Bukarida. I dey talk about the current realities of the world. I talk about the current realities where they affect we. We not so secret for say we economy dey in shambles, not because of the world recession wey dey go on as a result of the global pandemic, but me believe say like we get a very difficult economy because it is man-made. Because at the end of the day, we not get the ability for manage the little way we get because of a number of reasons them we are get for state. Um, First and foremost, people elect government world over, even at the US, like China, the Soviet Union, Russia, Europe, and other parts of the world. They elect the government because they believe say the government supposed for they in a position for play the magic for them. People elect the government because they don't say the government for able to make the difference. When it comes to the economy of Sierra Leone now, me, I don't want to let you even go to the complexities. I don't even want to follow go into like the big things them. The thing we go make an average Sierra Leonean live now. Now they talk about. That 1 meal a day, now they talk about. Talk less of three meal a day where the average people they do. All of the basic things that they make person survive. Don't add. Of course, food commodities. Salon a country way, for example, now rice now staple food. If you go to the market now, the amount of rice, money where they buy rice, it almost don't reach the minimum wage. Talk less of basic things that people in the consume, where the average man they consume. Where you go say, let's go to social life. Because you want to measure a country stability, you really look about what's not the cost of beverages, what's not the cost of alcoholic content, what are the cost of cigarettes. Forget about big things. Let's start about the small things then. And to me, I believe say all of these things are man-made things. Because one, if you run an economy where they under pandemic, you still they increase the public offices them, working for be of course augment by more wages and salary. Now more burden to the state. If they continue for employ people them, where for example at the end of the day, if they employ people them, for example, let's start by the revenue agency them. If we get more workers, now NRA for example, but the NRA as an office not able to generate the kind of money we go even pay the people who you don't employ. What kind of difficulty we will get? Of course, not so secret. The political economy of any state get for be in a way that the average Sierra Leonean get, for example, get 3 meal a day. Get the minimum wage who will take care of them and the family. The reality in a salon under that, people are living, in miracle. Where you even wonder, say, me not the BC wonder as to how I will survive the other day. So we didn't just talk about the economy of this country. We get a government who be in power 4 years ago. We declare austerity. Austerity in the sense that things were hard, like the president came out to say, this is our reality, austerity we need for cut down. But as it is now, the difficulty we will get now that, I don't believe so the current governors, they don't even identify the problem we will get. Because every day we're seeing more new employment. And this employment accounts wages and salary. Up till now, we see the commander-in-chief, His Excellency, the president, they travel all the time. And at the end of the day, the returns for them travel, they, as far as me know, not benefit when it comes to the economy. Then they only for argue to anybody now. The bread and butter issue, where 4 years ago, now been difficult, it don't triple or quadruple. So to me, with economy right now, they on the life support. I don't know when lights go. Because energy at times self can just go off for itself. And then another thing where at the land power, where Boko people don't know they pay attention to, we get adverse effect. Now the issue of this petroleum product. I was in the US a few weeks ago, and I know for say 1 gallon fuel in the US, a cheaper in the US than even Salon. Where you and I know oversee the standardization. Where you get premium, you get the standard. Not just the least fuel where you imagine I will get. But every day it fluctuates. Whatever then they happen in a state, it even affects fuel first is a political community. It's an economic community. Once it up, what did they happen? Everything they go up, difficulty the day and the situation. Then another effect, again for the human security.
Yep.
What are the human security effects? Because of the economy strong right now, The people them now they do more worse things. Because at the end of the day, them prefer for sleep only. Because even 5,000 now they do for buy cookie. So these are the economic reality where we not go able to run away from. We country economy day in life support. And I pretty believe say this is a situation where we're not for even politicize. Because one of the ways the way the current people who they run the state can want for like what I go say, then go want for like a beat down. Now the fact that then go say okay now we better we the other people them in there now so they did not lie. People elect their government to make difference. And the current reality we'll get now that we're on the life support. I wonder when lights go. What thing will happen to it?
Okay. um, um, Quite an interesting take, and many thanks for that, my dear brother. And Famulem, I know say some of you are just begin joining, the number don't begin to increase. Of course, there was a slow start. We get almost 100 people watching now live on the two platforms. The Musa will live stream this program, and we ask you now, please, whether you for or against, for sure up your number and consolidate your position. You go find for let you invite others for can join you for listen to waiting you they listen. Because in the end, we get for open the phone lines so you go say what you want for say, how you see things they unfold now your country waiting now your view. However, let me just remind you, I say we did talk to a young man. We're happy for be the editor-in-chief of the YONE Press. The YONE Press is an APC outfit. Let me get that clear. But what we do, we are critiquing the 4 years in office of President Julius Maada Bio. And to me, there's nothing wrong with this. And if anybody else want to join from the other side, because there are many opposition to the opposition. What I mean by this, apart from the SLPP APC, there are 16 or 17 other parties them. So please feel free for contact we so we will bring you come on. We are very open on this. Once more, Fambo, what I want for let we know is like when they talk about the cost of living crisis, when we talk about the economy in our country, the cost of living crisis now we talk about. And the cost of living crisis, according to many measurements, now the deepest, the worst that we have faced in decades. Some people are going to argue this, and this is not the point of this conversation here tonight. If you say this is not true, because maybe you support the president or just basically on an academic or collegial level, you want to make this argument, then of course we are willing for what you they say. But the physical aspect of it is people and then at the ground they feel them. And at this night we co-host to guest just say there is a dire economic need today. The cost of living crisis is worse than we have ever witnessed in decades. And then they say this for spite the current government, but they say this as a matter of fact. If you've got another prognosis to the problem what they talk about, please feel free for table or call the number already na the screen. But we're not opening the phone lines yet. I want to have one more go at Mr. Adikali. We're happy for being with co-host stroke guest tonight. Adikali, within the last 4 years, talking about this same economy, because people might want to be in denial, but we've done our due diligence. The leons when our young currency, and for those of our foreign friends that are watching, when we talk about the leons, that now we currency which we are using is called the leons. The leons has depreciated against the US dollar. The US dollar obviously is the exchange unit or mechanism universally accepted for all transactions. So what would they do with transaction? How would they measure them against? Of course, there are other major international currencies such as the British pound, the Canadian dollar, the Chinese yuan, and etc. But the predominant one, now the US dollar. So I want to make that comparison there between your money when are the leons as against the US dollar. How much more Usai me day? The leons as per the British pound. We see say almost they don't depreciate in value. In other words, the leons 80%. So if I get £1 today, it'll give me 2 million or almost 2 million leones if I try for be exact. If I bargain well because there's a give and take, I don't want to pay interest, of course, then I mean I don't cover the cost. So maybe I will get 2 million for the person who saw the send to. This not the reality today. Gunter, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, but not a secret. See, okay, now the international currency like the pounds and the US dollar always gets more values in terms of the world market, because even the even during the stock exchange, now them currency they use. But real reality now that Williams they depreciate every day because Sierra Leone at this particular moment don't fail for attract foreign direct investment. What we are witnessing now in this country is the fact that the get Williams been consumed by the exchange rate, by the dollar and the pounds, where they be ferried out of the country. For example, forget basic commodities like rice, sugar, all of the things that the foreign business people they always import for the sustenance and survival of this country. At this moment, Salon not even get any individual value. Even toothpick, we still important for Canada, this country, even though we get uh, vast forestry, we get vast other things them, but we still get this kind of difficulty. But the reality will affect the country not to by mistake. Now that we dey get more forex so they come out of this country for go out than the ones then way they come in. I don't know if they are you able to get a foreign reserve or the country in reverse in reserve in foreign currency, which at the end of the day will affect we local funds. For example, now the US dollar, for example, people with the abroad now the large the informal sector, because you get a good number of people away solely rely on people.
So Gunter, you audio they play up, and I go advise you because I dey hear back blast. I know say you watch the program simultaneously, but which you watch them on, you need for turn the volume down to zero or it will continue for interfere. You don't need to worry about this because you go watch them later by yourself. I go send you the clip. I go broken down into bits and pieces, the
Yeah,
highlights. Yeah.
that would be nice. Actually, I guess now from the other part of the office, then they listen because presently in our
Okay,
office.
that's in the office. Did you
Yeah,
share
so
the link? Did you share the link with the office? Because I see few of you people that may try for join using the link where you self the use. No.
I probably make that mistake there because I shouldn't have shared that. I
Yeah,
shouldn't have.
exactly. And I've been sending you also with the broadcast and so therefore be not shaban to because it seems like if I don't get a wider coverage. But it doesn't matter now. We are live, so just continue. The momentum go grow later. Continue, please.
Yes. So like I be say, as it is now, we can't not get no value in terms of waiting with the attract from a foreign direct investment. However, because of our inability for like just rely on the domestic taxation, for example, now like be hard on business people, the withdrawal of subsidies of basic commodities. I don't know if they, for example, if CTC, we are one of the largest rice importers in a salon, get for go buy rice for cow and a salon. Even if now loans they sell the rest, they get for change that loans to USD. And the scary part now that even for the first time in recent years, we realize say even Conakry Guinea na ya, the franc Guinea more value than we loans. And to me, one of the reasons we make we know the able address the problem where they affect with loans and the fact that we dey only limit the discussion to partisan lens. For me, it doesn't mean that if I am SLPP, that means say if the economy they go bad, I should not say it. Or it not necessarily means say because me na APC, my opinion about the economy will they affect we all not valid. Which
So
is that Angela.
Gunter, I'm going to stop you there for now. The reason why they stop you there from now because That's the political side, because there's the realistic side where you don't explain quite well, and we are
Yeah.
going to the political side. Yeah, I pause you because we will come to the political side, I promise you, but I just want to let me deal with a couple of facts, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So many thanks for that, Conta. Before we come for open the line, I also want for let we talk about public debt. I know say you are well informed. I do a little bit of a background, and by virtue of your work, of course, you're a researcher. So public debt, as I understand, is still unclear. The records are there, but the government is saying something else to us. But if things are difficult for everybody, for example, if me they run me home and I get difficulty, I go resort to debt, yeah, for makeup. The same is true of government, and I guess you will agree with me. The debt service obligation, Gunter, is making it they make it difficult for them we service other sectors them or areas then now we economy, such as the much vaunted free education, but we'll come to that. The bottom line is the debt scale is rising, yet we not get clarity on how much we really owe, because those figures are being massaged. And then they tell me waiting at the real interest rate, neither are they telling us, yeah, as to what the real problems are, or only blaming it on foreign issues, such as the Ukraine-Russia war. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah. Public debt is very important for what we discuss, and not to secret say developing economies like this, them who they run, not can normally survive by themselves without debt. But what I want to draw your attention to now the fact that there was a period in we life we former finance minister, when our chief minister used for say, hey, would they run the state to would they run the state way even though they pay salary, we need to take debt. But you and I know for some of for una who they abroad, we know about how better economies they run. The stability of job, the security of job, they make even the individual citizens then get access to public debt as long as they're able to service this debt. But to me, I pretty believe say there is huge insincerity in the management of funds at this moment. When this current president took over power in 2018, there was a period when the NRA they announced to the public revenue generation, how they service certain sectors, how they service this, how they service that. But in an event, this is very critical. In an event wherein even the former AG, the Auditor General and Deputy, from the moment when they lost their job, now the issue of war is over waiting will actually be the news of the people don't be difficult. Because up to now, we will still not receive it, the annual audited account. And currently we still get the Auditor General in case still they hanging. Then still they don't empanel judges. They up to now not see how done they go. But what is very clear on that, with like it's about your messaging to the people. It's about your social contract to the people. Don't assume as if you run a developing economy like this, there is no way you not go get debt. Because of course these debts are serviceable. Forget about the debt we take from the state. What about the ones we sign every day with international organizations, the ones we get from the IMF with the conditionalities? Somebody be the bluff say how IMF, this is a kind of endorsement to this government. IMF in the mid to next year election release some money. Do they release some money because IMF and World Bank get a ceiling? for the 2022 fiscal year, then get a ceiling at money with for release. So when they release them, at the end of the day, outside the body in the day. Now the people of Sierra Leone, it doesn't matter the government where they right now or government will get for car. So at the end of the day, public debt and the perception of the people and the opinion or the deliberate effort of the politicians sometimes for deceive the people. Debt is not wrong, but outside the debt they go. How will take IMF money, World Bank money, how will they will service the populace? Because at the end of the day, we notice that politicians, the one who they run the state, they get more salary, while the civil service is still nothing to go about. With the current inflation, waiting the minimum wage mean to anybody? With the minimum wage even less than the amount where you buy a bag of rice. So under this kind of condition, you just start to begin wonder, why am I receiving a minimum wage of this? Where the inflation is so high that you need able control over. So before I land, it is very clear, because at the end of the day, we get an opportunity say, for even clarify this for let the ordinary people know. Getting the debt, not only difficulty. The only difficulty within a salon, not the security. Because at the end of the day, person will not get the ability for payback, not supposed to get debt. But in an event that the government gets huge political stability, attract foreign direct investment, get more revenue generation, get more and create more wealth for the populace, then the public debt should not be a difficulty, and it should not be shrouded in secrecy. Why we don't know the current public debt? Because they're not going to say, the one they are they don't get more debt past the other one. Because the last Auditor General report shows say the current debt way this current government don't take within the first term to the almost to 4 years, it even deeper than the debt way the former government take for the last 11 years. You know how astronomical that is. But how that debt don't affect the ordinary people? Way up to now, for let people then get 1 million, they send a difficulty, and we don't get avert effect of that. Human security issue. We get a good number of people and now they take kush, because they believe say if they don't take 1 million a day, if they take the kush, they're not go be sober till the next day, because it gets implications. So having said that, debt not a bad thing. However, how did debt they affect we? Because big nations they say they take debt, but then go tell the people and say, this is what we're doing with the debt. We have to bail out. We have to sort this thing out. Within the difficult situation we are in, almost the $100 they almost go 2 million news, or how they get 2,000 news. But nobody is telling us that one, we have to cut down revenue. We are not seeing the fact that government they cut down offices, they not necessarily. We used to forget the governor will always be the pull press release, but now we not even know who signed it.
I'm named Michael.
How old are you?
20 years.
So how long you done this?
Because not so long to now with it. And from where I don't sit down, I make a begin smoke the kush. Yes, because the one will be there help me, I know can just cut out someone. I lost my opening, and nobody will be there help me. So from then I join to paddy now I begin smoke kush. So now so I begin smoke kush.
So where smoke I dey
They feel different way. Maybe say I learn a thing, maybe say I learn a serious something I mind. Maybe say for take grants, they begin take and calorie. I let them talk to you serious. You need to take her serious.
From then you need to take care of yourself again.
You need to take care of yourself. You need to think for what's against self. Yes, but some of you people who are strong people about able pressure you. You tell you say now you left, now make sure for go worse. So you better go able for go change yourself now, clean yourself. But nothing will be so critical. Maybe.
So you for left this school?
Yes, yeah, maybe they pray for that. Maybe they pray for that get person or help who they able help me for that left this thing here. And my own life go able change as a somebody in
no sound, no sound. I'm not able to get you. No sound. No sound, no sound.
Okay, I shall say the hear me now.
Yeah. The sound be done lost. So
Okay.
all of you preamble are not here.
Okay, no worries. I'll develop and shortly because of time. So, Fambulem, you see what thing happen on social media. Social media always they punish you whenever you make one little mistake. So, from over 120 some more people live viewing, which is low for the platform, but appreciated. We thank Una because they're not been hearing me. So we begin for lose, we begin for tank. But thank you for that correction there. So, Fambulem, what I've been trying for say is like we appreciate we guests today. We in assertions them way it make, in prescription them way it on table, in development them way it don't make in terms of observation and contextually speaking, they help for tailor the program in which we depend. The video where we play about Kush, now because again we get mentioned something economically speaking where they affect we people them. And a lot of young people them are involved in this Kush business because of course there is no way out. This na in you get for dwell into, and until these problems are solved, you get for be or find yourself in that situation there, which is an eyesore. So the video we play, the young man make and clear say that because of the economic trend. But here we go. Adikali, the issue here will be the talk about public debt is still unclear. And deliberately so, they make it not very clear to the population of the country for understand how deep are we, whether neck deep into debt. Is still not clear. The servicing of debt, where you take debt for service now an obligation, and that obligation they let me make a typical example. If you then you also take debt, the way how you picking them in the eat beef or you and your wife they eat beef, you get for cut down on that because you get for service the debt. The same is true on a national, on the national level, you get sectors of the society, the country, whether not health sector, whether not education sector, whether not rural government, agriculture, you get for support the sector then they. But because of that, you cannot fully do that. So the point where we want for make Naya Adikali is the difficulty for the sector there in terms of servicing the debt is having a problem, and I want zoom in, I want laser focus on the president in flagship program, the free and quality education program. Before you go deeply into RAM, waiting that you view about the free and quality education and how you think it is being affected and how you think it could not have been affected if XYZ policies, XYZ will have been put into place.
Well, first and foremost, not to secret, the free quality education is one of the finest initiative we don't ever exist in this country. Just like we get the free health care. The difficulty we me believe say it don't really affect the free quality education had to do with one transparency and accountability. And another thing where I feel say don't affect the free quality education, now the preparedness. Um, Politicians, of course, they take certain decision because of political expediency, in the sense that okay, now let us launch free quality education. It's part of our flagship. But one thing I want to draw the attention of the people now that the state house get the constitutional responsibility for manage the resource of the country. Sierra Leone being a democratic country, we get serious separation of powers, wherein every organs of government get the responsibility for serve as checks and balance to each other government institution. When the president launched the free quality education, there was something we then call free quality education basket fund, where of course the first lady been take a lead with that. But the difficulty within that, the government also been set up a free quality education secretariat even though you're not been going to parliament for it to be rectified in terms of how it should be structured, who should be this, who should be executive secretary, who should be in charge of what not, and how you're able to coordinate funds the way they can on behalf of the state, most especially in servicing the free quality education. I believe the free quality education is really an ambitious initiative, but I still go by the fact that you get good number of teachers them we go tell you say them and then get equality and the government and then get it free. Then what's not the effect for you can declare free quality education when the livelihood of the people the way they deliver the service, the people who win the life wire for pass on knowledge to the ordinary people them not actually get a feel of them. One thing wey very important now the fact that I learn am from overseas countries them because of the want and healthier nation. No, not a joke when it comes to caregivers, health practitioners, nurses, people who they take care of homes. So to me, I really wonder what actually they go on with the free quality education secretariat. I really wonder why up till now the education committee at the House of Parliament not ever call on the Minister of Basic Education for make them count a particular government bill. We will make we get a clear understanding as to how they for manage that kind of secretariat because the person we initially been be the head of the secretary. I think it was one Mr. Sowa also, and recently they don't appoint him as ambassador. So nobody knows what's happening because even at the launch of the free quality education, there was a basket fund where they launch. Nobody know who side the basket fund don't go, how much was expended. Of course, and go say okay now that they roll out free feeding to some schools, not all schools. But through CRS, I'm aware that CRS as a private international organization can they help developing nations them with that, which Sierra Leone is no exception, and CRS done there for long. So to me, in as much as I believe say the free quality education is a brilliant initiative, but I believe say the country, and I talk about SIPP led government, the country not actually be willing or not being prepared for address the thing they will make we sustain such a wonderful initiative. And I believe the simple thing will make this brilliant initiative done well. Now, because another part of the sustainable governance plan of the state, but rather a continued or sustainable political plan of the current government. Hence, you see the reason why government minister of basic education they release last result over 60 to 70% people then pass basic English, mathematics. You see art student they fail English, but they pass mathematics. You see government don't even believe even the basic education, wherein 90% of the people who then go sit entrance exam for filling to university don't able to get the minimum grade or even pass. You start for ask yourself, and to me, the free quality education is a long-term plan. Catch them young. Why do you think that if you plant continuously within 4 years, you go able produce all the coconut farming we need? When are something we need more time?
Okay. Um, so many thanks for that, Adikali. And Fambulem, I want to declare say the line open. So if anybody get questions, you get perspective, you get view or views or opinion plus an S, please feel free for call the line. If you watch the program live, you go see say the number they right now the screen. For those of you who are not watching the program live, the number now 077 4010 7250. I repeat, 077 4010 7250. And don't forget, if you call from outside internationally, I'm based in the UK anyway, the code now +44, not forget for that. +44 77 40 10 7250. Okay, so the lines are open. We expect forget calls from people, and please not shy away from the call. I mean, there is over 100 of us watching, and for those of you who are watching on Facebook, you might see that the number is low. But remember, say we're also the broadcast to other platform them. So therefore, when I give you this tally, now putting together all of them platform, they also will show emojis, YouTube and Facebook. So now we get something like 104, 106. It's been there 122, 125. But of course, it's winding down as we get problem because we get buffering problem. But please feel free for call. We could really like for your opinion, for or against. But remember, you get for justify. If you say no, the president don't deserve a second term, we go ask you why. If the president do deserve a second term, we go equally ask you why you think so. So that's what we are doing. But for today, family, we are talking to none other but Gunther Adikali. We happen to be the editor-in-chief of the YONE Press. This is a huge organization representing a huge chunk of a political, economic, and social society. You may not agree with him, and this is all the reason why, if you get a chance today, now for call. So far, the contribution that we don't make, do you disagree with him? If you don't, we can move forward. But anyone else does, and if you do, I want for that we feel free for call. So why would you wait for the first caller or callers? Can I, move forward? Normally, it can be like this. For let the first person call, the first person can wait for let another first person call. But eventually, the first person will do call. But Gunter, let me come back to you. This is important as to what we talk today. The focus of a conversation today is deliberately on the economy. Because the economy is critical to the development of any nation. There are many other aspects of a development in the nation, but the economy is quite important. So waiting Abiwan also add on this conversation while we wait for see if anybody will call is the wage bill. The wage bill, Gunter, continue for balloon. And when we research, we due diligence, I mean, you can have people deny this, but the fact remains the fact. And the fact here is due to reckless unemployment, unbridled, if you go like. In other words, something we're not tailored according to what you get. Because it's not like you didn't know you owe. Or generally speaking, you get your outgoing and your incoming. Now, on that basis, now so you they factor your budget. If you begin for spend more than you they get, that's a recipe for disaster. So let we transpond that to the government. The wage bill don't continue for grow. And wait till they understand the grow way they grow now as a consequence of employment. You just employ people the way you sabi, people the way you are in the job, and then they reflect on the reality. In other words, they call anachronism. Okay, unfair and wage discrimination. In other words, people that with professional background, then they make more money. I mean, less money than people that with non-professional background, only political connection. What do you view, Adikali?
But not to secret, one of the reasons we make a country they find it very difficult. Now the fact that we wage bill, extremely large, and I want to make reference to His Excellency the President. Now we been there in opposition. There was a time where he believe say reckless spending, say ingo block all the leakages, in an event we at the end of the day, we continue to go through serious economic recession. We still see appointment them where they come up from State House. We get director of communications. We get director of communications State House. We get director again of strategic communications State House. We get presidential spokesman. We get press secretary. The government don't happen for be the government so we don't criticize the employment of people, but they don't turn out to be the government who don't employ more people than any other government in this recent history. The bad part where all they feel the effect are the fact that now as it is, we it's so difficult to a point that now within a stage where you get some offices the way I beg your pardon, you get offices the way they even employ people the way they don't even get an office for day and just they pass around. And the sad part now that these are job for the boys. You and I know that every politician go on for day in the good eyes of them supporters them. But the state of governance not only limited to people the way you believe say they within your party. More so when people be president, they be president for the state. So now, not a secret, we get a lot of government ministry agencies, we get a lot of government institutions, them side offices, them we international embassies, them more media attaches, more finance attaches, more cultural attaches. Now we even get a music ambassador and all, and all of these things come with a lot of financial implications.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
some countries that we serious about the welfare of the people, more narrow and to the home. If you build a house, you want to complete the project as early as possible. If una plan get your money on the eat beef, let's say 300,000 leons beef per week.
Yeah.
If you know say you ever buy cement, everybody that those go believe say that's beef they will plant it for cut down on, because the power get for buy cement for will fix the hose. This is what is happening. But
Okay.
the sad part is it not seem as if state house even concerned or care about the wage bill, because at the end of the day, will still a senior appointment them.
Yeah.
And all of them are the boys, one of the boys, or I will say girls.
Okay. If I can just pause you there quickly, I want to bring one of you guests come in because he's been patient enough, and I hate this. He's in the background. Can I bring Mr. Momo Koroma in? Let me review. Momo Koroma.
Yes, sir.
You need for turn the volume down on the gadget so you watch people watch from. Or you interfere with you. Okay, Momo. You need for turn the volume down. You work on different people.
Volume.
The volume, yeah, turn it down to 0. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, turn it down to 0. Wherever you watch out from, turn it down to 0, my friend. Are they hearing me say?
You're not going to watch yourself. You're not going to watch yourself, then you talk.
Exactly. You want to watch yourself at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Now for land this, because maybe the next time you might be the guest on the program, you can't not watch it. The point here is, are they hearing me safe? And what it mean? It means say you will watch them on another platform, on something. Either you get your tablet, your laptop, or something on. So therefore they hearing me safe. I'm not sure for hearing me safe. So you need for turn and down to 0. You might be on a professional platform the next time, only you. You don't hear all this talk. What are you view?
First of all, so what's the for the question we I don't hear we Mr. Gunta and exactly so far, because when you watch everything we Mr. Gunta don't talk, exactly it is the fact and the right talk he don't talk, because when you watch, the question is if President Bio need an second term. Like for me, my own opinion, President Bio no need second term. Yeah, because when you have the situation that the country is so difficult for youth people, and today like today, if you want job, tribalism, favorism too much in the country. Because if you not be this tribe, you no go get job. If you not be this surname, you no go get job. And when you dey watch now the country, people dey suffer. Sierra Leone dey suffer, Sierra Leoneans dey suffer, the youth man dey no get job. Na im make if you watch now the drugs business wey dey call this kush don boku na the country because youth man dey no get job for do, dey no get job for do. Na im make this people young youth man dey take this drugs for let dey solve the problem. Because if you job dey, youth man dey get job, you get me, they no go for the take this push. That's the main side answer.
Okay, many thanks for that intake, Neil. I really do appreciate that. Next time I will try to solve the audio problem because it's interfering. No worries at all. So let me just get back to Gunter. And Fambulem, there was over 120 some of us watching live. I mean, I don't understand. You cannot say you don't have a view. Not to compel, not to by force. You can't say you don't have a view because the discussion now, then, is so much differences ongoing. But nobody know able to pick up the call for say whether they for or against. However, this does not stop the conversation as we try for approach the 1 hour mark. I think we'll get 8 more minutes to this program over our users calling. No one has called in. Gunter, free education producing graduates who cannot find jobs. What's the significance? Waiting at the importance of producing graduates that cannot find jobs.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like it had to do with even the job market and how would they even tailor the curriculum for meet global trends. Now we in the era of new normal, wherein now England you did, I suppose, and made in a salon.
Correct.
Then they contribute to global governance issue because anything they affect salon will affect the world because people don't care about what they affect salon. Possibly go to America and they do the same because of technology. So if we're not able to tailor we a kind of a curriculum for attract job market, that is very difficult. Another thing we they make a good number of Uganda they now they get job because we government don't fail for attract foreign direct investment. And you're not able to create wealth in an event where most of the young people just believe say once they graduate, they will just get a white collar job. A few people themselves where they study believe say they for volunteer. Now a few people and just believe say I for go start somewhere. You get some person immediately where you see a graduate, the next thing I will get an office where they get a big jeep and all. But however, with all of this, every state, every executive where the people are elect supposed to cater for the well-being of the people, irrespective of whether the people in Talek, out in Talek, whether they are disabled, whether they are incapable, whether they are poor, whether they are rich or not. So now the issue of unemployment in the country is multifaceted. And now it don't make even politics don't be like a profession now. Most people want to enter into politics because yes, that's the fact. Because at the end of the day, you believe safe I'm a party in a power. At the end of the day, I go land a job, we go make I even buy a motor car. I will, and
Hello?
it even affect the vicious
Yep.
circle.
You want a
that we
contribution to
see.
the program? Okay, hold the line, please. Yeah. Okay, family, I think we get a first caller. I must commend the first caller. I don't think I know him. The number looks strange. Well, let me hear the brother, of course. Caller, you are live on the TNN TV Media Empire. If you can identify yourself by name and where you call from, please, and you can make your point or observation or question.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Prince. I call from actually UK, West London, to be specific, in Brentford.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you once again. I always follow you, and me, one fan, and I see the ultimate analysis. And today happened today. We thank Una very much.
Yeah.
Because based on my interventions, people are able to learn a lot, and people who they listen.
Yeah.
At least when they see what is happening today in the country. This country now they we born, grow, commodity now raw mature, we know everything.
Yeah.
And then if we compare even who young, the leaders say we will be small, we they not pass through and what is happening now. Because some of who cut across, we get people who cut across north, south, across the country, the east part of the country, the south, of course, the west way, some of we born and grow up.
Yeah.
So we get people that cut across. So we know what is happening, the day-to-day activities that we go on at the country.
Yeah.
But coming back to the question we asked, if the president Bio deserve a second term, then a big no, except otherwise, so some people, that still know the support. But majority will say no, Mr. Prince. We all the area, if you know the CCF way the area, we see what did happen today. We know when before this government came in, what did they propagate and what did they campaign on. Me and you can testify, see, we don't see that much good they don't do. The things that go worst.
Yeah.
So many things hunger, starvation. Look at what they happen today. Push. Youth they take drugs. This even after the war. Okay, after the war, we not be getting kind, drugs business there. Just after the war, because they be able to mold the young one then, we don't go join the RUF, we them the try for move them out for come mobilize them for make them try for for put them into proper life.
Yeah.
So look at today now we get a normal government. Look what happen. And these drugs, now the people they want the way they are the authority. These are the policemen, the military. Now they don't them the drugs. I will see the content. I will see all the revolutions.
Yeah.
Waiting we end up with nothing. We end up with nothing. Because how the common man not able to smuggle drugs Canada country. These are people the way they within government. Some of who we know.
Okay.
And then they make them dig say. So imagine today, look at the wage bills. Look at how people they receive salary today. Look at how they don't expand the ministries there. You see?
Yeah.
Me and you will see, will they read, will they see anything there? Will they see what they happen? This is not hidden. Hidden.
Yeah.
If you look at today, we can understand global problems, then pandemics, and what they happen around the world today. But other countries, the way now with neighbors, at least they're able to manage the economy, then they move smoothly.
Okay.
The prices then they fly, then they skyrocket every day, basic commodities. And these are the things that we then have form societies then, form demonstrations then, the resistance movement before, they talk of all anything there. Now to the look, who side they sit on now today, what they in governance now. And now compared to what them go against today and what they happen now.
Okay.
So you see, you go one day, you look at all of them people, look at how many people in Nigeria today for no reason.
So that's
they avoid the justice. They not even go court. So man they find a guilty to appear court. Just for demonstrators, then they need it so. People who just demonstrate say, Madam, you must go. When they make black cards, say they
so that na
for nothing.
yeah, brother. Yeah, brother, that na very true. All the case then where you make so, and I want to tell you thank you so much for the time because we've been expecting a few number of people and will call. But anyway, sometimes some people just get for initiate the call, and you're not the first caller, and you make your point. And I want to say thank you so much for this, brother. Many thanks and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You're welcome, sir. Much respect. Bye bye. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Anikali, you will read the last caller and sentimental experience.
Yeah, certainly.
You want to respond?
Well, just like what you would talk so, the issue of the president deserving another term is unequivocally no, because we all know what's in the going on this country. In as much as the president say he don't do much, say he don't do even surplus for people. Some of we really feel the pain, believe say we cannot call out our president, say it lie, but we know say not to do. And if by 5 years you elect person, we obviously don't get an opportunity for serve we for 5 years at least. Somebody will be don't get the opportunity for serve before self, even though now under a junta regime. We believe say if I get the kind of savvy for deal with economy like this, because na poor countries like this. So the issues them so many, touching to like the economic realities of the state. What's no need for even acting it, because at the end of the day, we all know what's going on at this country, and the people where they suffer at them boku. And the sad part of that, hunger not only the lock na the domot of the ruling government or opposition member. Everybody they suffer am. Even people where they abroad they suffer am, because then people who don't care about where they go through serious hardship, where they be a burden on them. And in an event that they send money for them, before you think about the next minute, that money they all done. And another second thing of that, you get some Africans there where they abroad, where they do project them. In as much as they work a lot of dollars, once they change that dollar they to loans, they're not able to do anything, because the dollar they chop am very fast. So it's an economic reality we don't able to run away from. And
Okay.
any government will able to control economy. Then which you able to control again, where the lifeblood of a state, now your economy they run.
Yeah. Okay. So Fambulem, when they come towards the end of this program, a little bit disappointed because we didn't expect Fambulem for call. And the idea that we had over 100 live viewers, them far less than we would expect, but at least a 100 number. It's a huge number, 122, I think at some point, 126, just for call and express your view as to where you stand. And this is the thing. How do we draw measures? How do we measure outputs for let we make a decision based on policy statements that we want to make? If we need to express yourself every time we hold on. I mean, you can hold on to, it's not by force that you have to, but this is a bit surprising. Having said this does not deter us from doing what we're supposed to do. And Gunter, in terms
Yeah.
of the social policy, the economic policy, we continue for suffer downgrades. I mean, this now by level when you talk about the economy, downgrades by international rating agencies. Inflation is on the rise, my brother, and they far above rate. In other words, the rate of inflation as supposed as to how then they pay people, your money no value nothing, because it can purchase very few items. And this don't become questionables. With the figures the government they give, it not seem for tally with the reality na the ground. There's flight of capital as well. Companies are leaving. They have been leaving for a few years now. Gunter, if you are aware of this, I wonder whether you can explain to Fambul and say, yes, I'm aware, and this is what is happening. And in the end, if we can hear solutions from you as well.
Yes, not a secret say for the past couple of years, the government not able to attract foreign direct investment. As a result of that, then they only rely on domestic revenues. Domestic revenues get for do it the amount of institutions them or businesses they operate in the country, or like the amount of taxes where the ordinary people get for pay. There's no two ways about it, because at the end of the day, you either do it that way or you not get any option. But in an event that you get for put high taxation, most business people, both the one in a local one and international one, the entire focus it's all about how they can make profits. Nobody they can do business for loss. So as a result of that, Boku find the nearest country where the feel say them will go for do business. That's one. And the effect is not that no more government they lost revenue. A good number of cities in them, they possibly lost job outside in the work. And then another theory very, very important too, now the fact that because of this kind of reality, we country not go able to enjoy relative calm, because at the end of the day, now a burden on the people and too. Because if somebody did, for example, who use for work now the mining sector, you know what they mean. It gets a lot of people where they take care of. It gets a family where they take care of. If because of high taxation, then the next minute, then company and they follow up and go. A good number of people they lost job, and once they lost job, what thing they happen? It affect another family, and the government as it is not get no option. No, not get option, because in an event and decide say now yes, let decide say for remove the subsidies, the law reduce the amount of taxation. Then government of will get money there for even service them big wage bill with it right now. So you know the government get for service.
Okay, I think we lost Gunter there briefly. Yeah, we do lost him briefly, but he was making quite a critical point as to government servicing some parts of the economy. Bearing in mind that we got an uncontrolled inflation, and prices of goods and services just they skyrocket, just they go up wootete. As we speak, so I don't even believe that we get access to the international bond market, because we just need for look at we inflation, look at we economy at home, and no say connection wise with the international global economic situation. We are out of it, and at times the president himself, you're not confused due to uncontrolled inflation. This is also causing the lack of price control. Remember this lack of price control. It's a massive issue in a salon. Today you grab for go buy bread, bread now 50p, and then you catch your head, you say, well, I go look for that cheap one on side. Where you go look, increase. But then you want to come back to the best one where you prefer. Say, well, until then they don't increase, I can spend the 50p when they charge me initially, only for the price tag to have changed from 50p to 60 pence or 75 pence. This is not the situation exactly how we they go. And we really need for understand this. Okay. Judges, justices, members of parliament, now make what we call them a deal, and even blame the leader of the opposition at parliament. We get followers them, and they can think like say other people and not get followers. In other words, then just intend on clashing. And from what you may understand, clashing, who does win that? It's the most strategic side, the most powerful side. But this has been the TNN Empire, kind of production, where they come to una today, the 8th of December 2022. And me now, host and presenter, Prince Emil Koma. I've been a talk to Brother Adikali earlier on, where hopefully there be some form of conversation. Unfortunately, will not end that conversation. He had to move on. But this is how serious, what we talk about. What we talk about is. This is how serious what we talk about is how for contend with the criticism and within the direct against you. The uncontrolled inflation. where they cause the lack of price of goods and services. So me and you, when they talk about the general Sierra Leonean populace, this is really difficult for us because before then you go buy Ugari, whether you buy them at some market level, which had no problem, but because inflation not been on kicking, in which there's this rise of cost of living, cost of living services. So things, although it not be normal, but was affordable because I can still go back and pay for that affordable cost of whatever I want. Unfortunately, this is not the case. This is rising by the seconds because the cost of oil and gas is rising by the second. I can go on and on and on and on. And this is not a situation where I understand just all too well. So I think we hope for India now because Deputy Kingsley Adimora does understand this. George Owusu Nte does understand this. I, Prince Emil Kroma, does understand this. But then seniority in terms of pecking order prevails. So as a consequence of this, I had to come back to a situation which is no more desired. But unfortunately, this is the point. And I'm happy to take it. This has been a TNN Media Empire production. Me where they talk to una today. I'm named Prince Emil Kroma, and I'm happy that una support and sign on. But every good thing must come to an end. So for now, can I say bye-bye, tata. Thank you so much.